Which famous singer sucks at singing? Pretty sure will.i.am has admitted he can't sing without autotune. I was born like this. I had no choice. I was born with the gift of the golden voice. Leonard Cohen mocking himself in lyrics. Paraphrasing Leonard when he won a Juno Award, the Grammys in Canada. Only in Canada would someone with a voice like mine would won a vocalist award. Believe it or not, Biz Markie is not that great at singing. I am shocked, not that shocked. Terrible singer, and yet I listen to him all day because he's just fun. David Lee Roth. The Van Halen brothers refused to let him be their singer a couple of times because he couldn't sing in tune. Eddie Van Halen sat down at a piano and said sing this note, and Dave just repeatedly failed. However, as the LR showed repeatedly, you can be a mediocre singer and still be a great frontman. He made the Van Halen brothers quit playing long noodly instrumentals and instead play short pop songs. And got them rock star haircuts. And persuaded them to not stand completely still but instead put on a visually interesting show. Edit. The story of the band's early years is told well in the book Van Halen Rising, written by Greg Renoff. I listened to the audiobook version. It's a good story. And it worked. Chainsmokers definitely don't live up to the hits they pump out. Saw them for free a few years ago at some Budweiser sponsored event. This was not long after that Selfie song came out. They played a whole set, and before they closed with the song that made them famous, they expressed, okay, before we play this song everyone wants to hear, we just want you to know we really hate this song. Bob Dylan. Amazing songwriting skills do not necessarily mean amazing vocal skills. I saw Bob Dylan perform at Firefly in 2017. I'm pretty sure he's been dead for decades and they just propped his corpse up on stage. Edit. Half my replies are from people who were at Firefly with me. And the other half are from people who thought the same thing in 1980. I'm surprised I didn't see Selena Gomez, but yes. Selena Gomez. Vince Neil. Especially in the later Motley Crue years. If you see any of their concerts of the past 10-20 years, you can hardly understand what he is singing and he constantly needs to catch his breath. His voice didn't age well at all. Edit. Here is an example of him trying to sing Dr. Feelgood. https://www. YouTube.com watch. v=Linahiguri. To be fair, the video seems to have some cuts. Saw them live on the Dr. Feelgood retour they were doing a few years back, and Jesus, he was horrible. He would only sing every third word or so, then it was back to heavy breathing. Probably doesn't help that he's the size of two 1985 Vince Neils now. He's the one the call Eelgood. He's alright. Jennifer Lopez. And she's one of the few that will actually admit she isn't a great singer. Surprisingly. Yoko Ono. Shudders. Ja Rule. He can't hold a tune to save his life. Where is Ja? Dolly Parton. Nah. Just kidding. She's the real deal. I was about to throw down. Cardi B. Adam Levine. He is really pitchy. Autotune can work wonders. I will say, in his defense, that when I saw Maroon 5 as an up-and-coming band, like sometime in the early 2000s, maybe 2006 at the latest, at a small club in Pittsburgh called Graffiti, they blow me away. Adam sounded like Justin Timberlake but over this really cool live band. I was into bands like Thursday and Bad Brains at the time, but was seriously impressed. Maybe the success made him complacent. Like he lost his edge from back then when they were hungry. Edit. It was Lager. Not Graffiti. Edit 2. It was 2003. Google is neat. Madonna. Her Eurovision performance was 100 times worse than the worst participating country, lol. The funniest part was when she went on to post the video on her Twitter and it magically sounded better. Ashlee Simpson. https://yahoo. Bixar Tolma. What's so funny is that the band is actually pretty good. And they all seem to kind of enjoy that they had the stage to themselves finally. Milli Vanilli. The story behind that group is actually pretty sad. Featuring. Have no idea who that guy is but they're very popular. Edit. Thank you for the silver kind stranger. I mean their voice is all over the place. Try searching Jason Derulo live. Like no hate. Love the guy. But goddamn he needs some autotune. Jason Derulo. JLO. Girl can dance but her voice. No. JLO has always been the kind of singer you want to see. Not here. Shaggy. After last night's Little Mermaid fiasco I was cringing visibly. It wasn't him. Katy Perry. Have you heard her live? Pretty awful. Rihanna is god awful live. Look up some of her live performances. I was surprised because I didn't think she used that many modifiers in the studio. When I bartended in Atlanta, one of my regulars worked in the music biz. His job was to auto-tune everything to make it sound good. He told me that Rihanna needs everything fixed in post because she's so awful. He also said that all the Atlanta recording studios have top secret cookie recipes and some artists will not record in some studios because they don't like the cookies as much as other studios. He also said they use the cookies to weed out interns. Like, if you can't follow a simple recipe to make cookies then you're worthless. LOL. Fergie. She rocked the national anthem a few years ago. Surprised no one has said Adam Levine. The guy sings like he's constantly being hit in the balls, while somehow also being unable to hit the high notes in his music well. There's also just this feeling you get off of his voice that he doesn't want to be there. It baffles me that he is somehow a judge on the voice when his isn't any good. It sucks because on songs about Jane I thought he was really good. But the commercialized stuff they put out later was definitely a massive step back. The new song they put out, maybe 2 months ago at this point, is a throwback to the songs about Jane era. So I'm hoping they move more in that direction. Yoko Ono. The woman sounds like someone is sodomizing a cat with another cat. Thanks for the upvotes. And thank you for the silver. Mysterious benefactor, I'm glad you agree on behalf of those poor cats. Yoko Ono has never been known for her singing and has always sounded like a bunch of cats being slowly fed into a shredder. Ramona Singer. Edit. Thank you for the gold kind stranger. I don't know about Ramona. But definitely Luann. This is the complete opposite of your question. But Jack Black actually has a phenomenal voice. Tons of Ranger D, he just sounds great live as well. You should really check him out. It's true. But between the comedic nature of most of what he sings, and the overblown effects he puts on as his style natural, not computer effects, it's real easy to miss. The dude is an absolute beast vocally. And a great performer on top. He's not a singer by any means. But French Montana once opened at a concert I went to and it was the worst thing I have ever seen in my life. Dude was piss drunk, falling all over the place, sweating up a storm, and when he tried to follow along with the song playing in the background, since he can't remember any of the lyrics himself, he sounded like a donkey getting fucked by a power drill. With the power drill on or off, the sounds of the motor can really affect things. Deleted. Meatloaf fucked his voice. It used to be good but he wrecked it. He never got any training because he naturally had a powerful sound and was successful with it. So what needs fixing, right? There are lots of articles by vocal coaches who use Meatloaf as the inducements to learn good technique. Can't really tell anymore. Thanks to autotune. You actually can tell when the autotune is working harder on pitchier singers. So many rappers in this thread. They're not singers and they're not claiming to be. Rapping is a whole different beast. How else is Reddit gonna mention Cardi B? How is Dream Theater's James Labrie these days? Used to be he couldn't keep a straight note live. Selena Gomez. Hands down one of the worst singers that are ever on the radio. That's why she started whispering and talking in her songs instead of singing. Ashley Simpson purely just for that SNL incident. Forget the SNL incident. She didn't even sing there. Watch the Orange Bowl performance. Gross. https://www. YouTube.com watch. v=Julfibien PM. I don't know who let Katy Perry into the industry with a live voice that bad. But they needed to be stopped. Edit. Some words. It's like she's shouting. Not singing. I can't stand it. Neil Diamond. Half his shows are turning the mic to the audience and saying you know the words to get everyone else to sing. That's exactly what I do when I karaoke Neil Diamond songs. Here in Latin America are various examples. Their names are literally Bad Bunny, Daddy Yankee, Ozuna, etc. Their names are as stupid as they are. Sorry if I have bad English. Ha. I thought Daddy Yankee was considered a good artist in terms of hip-hop raggy. Black Eyed Peas especially. Fergie. I'll never get tired of watching her attempt at a Marilyn Monroe-esque national anthem. Fucking hilarious, it's so bad. Especially when you see the reaction of the basketball players' audience. Link. https://yauto. BCMA2F6 Rusk. The thing that really gets me is how silent the crowd is after. Everyone turning to one another wondering what the fuck they just listened to. Leonard Cohen sounds like a horrendous singer. But speaking as a straight man, his voice makes my knees weak and I'm hypnotized by his songs. Oh, and Tom Waits. I'm a huge fan. I love the whole drunk street preacher thing. Kind of fascinated by him and listen to him a lot. But damn. He can't actually sing. He bleeds lyrics out his glass shard throat. Leonard Cohen barely sings most of the time. He just melodically talks at you and it's often brilliant. Unfortunately, Oliver Sykes. Not necessarily singing, but he sucks at screaming Livimo. I've seen him 3 times now and was mostly there for the vibe mosh pit and not for his actual performance. Oliver Sykes used to be a god at screaming, in terms of sound. I was never really a fan of BMTH, but I saw a few of their concerts with other bands about 10 years ago and the guy was the real deal. However, he seriously fucked up his throat with bad technique and sounds very different than he used to. Barney the Purple Dinosaur sucks pretty bad. Mariah Carey now. She's destroyed her voice by straying away from the healthy technique and sound she once had that made her famous in the first place. Now she can barely maintain phonation. Deleted. Bob Dylan. He just writes them so well it doesn't matter. James Labrie. From Dream Theater. I loved E.T. But half the time you can't understand the lyrics to the songs. And it's not like his voice is unpleasant. But his singing at points consists of making noises that try to almost sound like the words he's supposed to be singing. Deleted. Fergie is the worst. Her rendition of the national anthem at the NBA All-Star Game was something else. And the Rockets' Red Glare. My favorite part of that was the camera panning to players trying not to crack up. I love her, but Britney Spears' voice isn't has been terrible. She sounds like her nose is plugged. Has minimal range. And her voice is just weak. Christina Aguilera has pipes, but I hate the way she scoops and trills every last note. I love Britney. But her record company absolutely wrecked her singing voice with the baby voice. I like listening to singers when they get older. Elton John changed his whole singing style after vocal surgery. Even changed the song's keys. But if you listen to a song like Daniel, when he does the falsetto voice, he doesn't even try anymore. Relies on his backup singers. Steve Perry came out with a song recently, but I feel like he can't hit the notes he used to hit anymore. Interested in the Skid Row singer? I guess he can't sing anymore. Paul McCartney actually keeps his songs in the same key and can still hit the same notes as when he was young. Even after the notable change in his voice. I am still a huge fan of his sound. Songs from the West Coast was one of my top 10 favorite albums of the last decade. Katy Perry. She sings like she's yelling, not singing. Like a drunk chick at a bar. This is my song. The Black Eyed Peas. Ice JJ Fish. Jennifer Lopez and Selena Gomez. Luke Bryan. Have you heard Selena Gomez singing live? Yikes.